Awesome. Okay, so today I'm here with Maria, and honestly, we planned this. We started planning this back in September, and I went into a remodel of my house, and there was no way I could do a live because it sounded like I was building the Empire State Building here at the house. So thank you for your patience. I'm excited to be here. I always love teaching to your group. And today I decided to talk about the 2024 Esthetician Success M.A.P and make this a mentor session because the truth is, and I would love it if you guys would go, oh yeah, Lori, I understand it. I am picking up what you're putting down. We're all on information overload. So, it's like this robotic teaching and this, throwing a ton of information doesn't seem to be sticking with people anymore. So I thought, how beautiful would it be just to bring a vibe of mentorship in? And I'll tell you a little bit more about who I am and what I've accomplished in the industry in just a second. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the three things that I think are so important in helping you build a beautiful life as an esthetician. And number one would be mastering marketing. And you don't need a degree in it. I'm going to share with you some really simplified ways that you can become a master at marketing and call in these high quality clients. I also want to talk about abundance because for the longest time, I wrote a book on it actually, and I started using the term six-figure esthetician. This was back in 2009. Now I know a lot of people have incorporated it into their coaching businesses and their teachings, but it no longer resonates with me because I don't believe that you need to hit a certain number to feel extremely abundant. So we're going to talk a little bit about abundance and what it means and how you should welcome it into your life as an esthetician. And then I want to talk about some power moves to attract dream clients because, as Maria and I were just talking about, people feel a little slow right now, and don't let this beat you down because January and February quite often are slow times in our industry. It's a good time to power up. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to attract your dream clients. And my PowerPoint is not moving forward. So let me just figure out where, okay. Here we go. I want to tell you a story before we get started today. And I do have my notes here to keep me on track. So if you see me looking down, I'm being truthful with you here. I don't have this all memorized. I made notes. I've been working on this for a few weeks because I was so excited to share these things with you. So I will be looking down at my notes and then back at the camera, and let that be a little bit of permission for you to go live promoting your business and your brand without feeling like it has to be perfect. But I want to share with you a story. So about maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I decided to invest in a professional branding shoot for my business because I was in a group of women who were outside of our industry, and they all had these beautiful photos of what they did in their business and on their website, and branding photos that positioned them as a professional. And I noticed this was missing in our industry, which was odd to me because we ask people to come in and we provide intimate services, right? We are, half the time I was asking my clients, okay, strip down, get naked, I'm going to spray tan you, or I was doing Brazilian bikini waxes, or they walk into a dark room where they don't even know us and their eyes are closed and we're sitting behind them. Yet we don't even have a picture of ourselves so they can see who it is welcoming them into our world. And I go, all right, this is a heavy duty cost, but I am going to invest in myself and my business this way. I'm going to go and I'm going to get some branding photos done. And here I am in my Noelle Asmar uniform. And I want to tell you what happened. And this is who has become my friend, Leslie Baum. She is in my Beauty Biz Club, done so many photographs. She shows up at our events. She has done headshots and branding photos for other members of the Beauty Biz Club. And she is an amazing celebrity esthetician. And to work with her and have her take my pictures was a privilege. And she shared a stat with me that I'll share with you. Once people get professional pictures on their website, they can plan on their business elevating up to 10 times because suddenly we are welcoming people into our world in a very personal way. Okay, so let me tell you what happened this day. I had a new car. I didn't take the time to learn how to use the GPS, and I had to drive to downtown LA for the photo shoot. So I get there and I have a great day, an amazing photo shoot. She makes you feel like a movie star with hair and makeup and wardrobe and and this studio that looks like something you'd see on a movie set where you have all these different rooms to take pictures in. And then we are wrapping the day up and it comes time to leave. And the LA Marathon had taken place the day before. So probably even if I did know how to use my GPS, the same situation would have unfolded, but I got lost in downtown LA. And I got lost in a very, very dangerous part of downtown Los Angeles. If you've ever been to downtown LA and you know what I'm talking about, I bet your heart is racing a little bit right now. So I will tell you, I circled for hours trying to get out of downtown LA. Every exit I made it to was blocked. Every detour I took, I ended up going the wrong way, or the street was one way instead of the way I needed to be going. I circled for hours and I felt scared, confused, and I was filled with anxiety. And I didn't know what to do. I just felt lost. And honestly, what should have been a really fun and amazing day, focusing on business growth and investing in myself, it ended horribly. And quite often, this day that I just explained to you, I feel like that's what happens when we become an esthetician. We can't wait to touch faces, to clear skin, to smooth the fine lines, to glam out the lashes, and just be filled with joy because we get to create beauty, right? This is the epitome of hashtag esthetician life, the good esthetician life. But then reality sets in and we show up, but unfortunately the clients don't. And this can happen for many, many, many reasons. Maybe you aren't priced right. So creating beauty isn't as much fun when you're broke. Perhaps you're not booked perfectly, meaning either way, you have all kinds of open spots on your schedule, or you're overbooked and underpaid. Neither one are a fun scenario. And trust me, I've been an esthetician for over 20 years. So I've probably been in a situation similar to what I'm sharing with you right now at some point in my career. These things cause you to feel burnt out. And so many things can happen and you feel just like I did in downtown LA, right? You feel lost, you feel frustrated, you feel unsure of what the heck to do, and you find that you don't know where to turn. The GPS isn't working. Everything they taught you in school doesn't even matter because you're not utilizing it, and you feel frustrated and stuck. And this can happen on both ends of the success spectrum, not successful at all and uber successful. You can feel burnt out, frustrated, broke, and exhausted. And today I'm just going to share with you the top 3 things that I think will help you avoid feeling like this so you get to create beauty and success. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about myself as we get started here, because I feel like when you know the person behind the teaching, it just makes it all much easier to absorb as far as the information goes. So I am the founder of an online success community where we empower estheticians through mentorship and through success strategies. It's called the Beauty Biz Club. I'm not sure if we have any members here today, but we run about 300 to 500 estheticians through the Beauty Biz Club a year. Very, very kind and supportive community. During COVID, when I didn't get to work for a year and a half and missed touching faces so much, I reached out to one of my LA clients. She was my facial client when I owned a spa there. I no longer do, but she was a famous clothing designer. And I said, I feel like there's a gap in spa wear, and I want to fill that gap with a luxury spa wrap. So I worked together with this incredible woman and we created Spa Star, which are luxury spa wraps and headbands. And yes, they do wholesale, or I have a wholesale account for those of you interested. I truly believe one of the contributing factors to my level of success as an esthetician is the fact that I don't mind at all investing in things that will elevate the client experience. And this was true when I owned my fancy spa in LA, and it's true now, even though I am back as being a solo esthetician in a salon suite. We can always elevate the experience and it brings in amazing clients. And then some of you may know I've had a top rated podcast in the beauty space since 2000, I believe in 14, back before podcasting was a trendy thing to do. I started the Beauty Biz Show. Every year I interview amazing people on the Beauty Biz Show, industry icons, people who inspire me to become successful. And I do a lot of solo type podcasting, which is where I share my own experience and my success tips. I am an industry speaker. I've held the stage at many trade shows, and also I have done speaking engagements for specific brands, and I've done quite a bit of TV speaking, and that's not something I sought out to do. It actually found me, and love it, love it, love it, love it, love everything I get to do. And then I feel like the most genuine and authentic piece of my coaching and my mentorship and my speaking and my sharing is the fact that I am still a working esthetician. This was one of the branding photos in the bottom right-hand corner that Leslie took. She came out to my treatment room and we took more photos. And it's funny because even my mother saw this on Facebook and she said, Lori, you look so happy. And truly I am. And I want to just wrap up the sharing of who I am and what I do in the industry with a commonly asked question that I get asked. And I get asked this question by my fellow estheticians, by my friends, my family, and my clients in the spa. So this question is, Lori, why are you still in the treatment room if you're so busy and you're running 3 companies? And what I share with you right now, I hope will speak to your beauty biz soul and maybe shift something for you energetically. So most commonly asked question, why are you still in the treatment room? Well, I want to ask you if you've ever heard of, and I wish I could see you guys, but I'm not on social media. So put in the chat, because I'm going to scroll through here when I stop the share, and I would love to see, what your response is to this question. Have you ever heard of the energy of escape? Have you ever heard of the energy of escape? Maria, maybe you can tell me if people have heard of this. Can you see your chat and then
I'm
just
watching.
share that?
I personally have not.
And is there anything happening in the chats where people go, yes, I've heard of it?
I have not. Do tell. Yes, do tell. Okay, let's come
Okay.
over to people. Nope.
Okay. So why am I still in the treatment room? I have a different energy. I do not recommend, I do not personally ever tap into the energy of escape. And let me tell you what that is. It's how I see so many people operating their business, and it's not a good vibe. So the energy of escape, most people operate from here and they go, oh, I don't want to call my clients tomorrow.
Oh,
And pre-call them. Oh, I don't want to do this. Oh my gosh, I can't stand counting my inventory. Oh my goodness, this client canceled on me. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this week to be over. That is the energy of escape. Do you pick up what I'm putting down, right?
100%. Yeah.
So do you agree? You see so many people operating. I don't want to try to get new clients. I don't want to go on social media. Everything they have to do, they're trying to escape doing it.
That's been
So
me. 100%. Has that been anybody here?
yes, we all have it, but be aware of it because it's easy to knock out and replace with the energy that I operate from. And it's one of the reasons I still love being in the treatment room. I operate from the place of not the energy of escape, but the energy of I can't wait. I can't wait to call my clients. I've already done it today for my clients tomorrow to welcome them into my treatment room. I can't wait to go in there and set up my new oil diffuser. I felt horrible when I had to cancel on my clients last week. And guess what? Almost every client I canceled on, because I have this energy of I can't wait to welcome you into my world and my treatment room, they offered to bring me soup. They offered TV shows that they liked. Like I have a beautiful connection that I can't wait to continue to nourish as an esthetician. And being in the treatment room not only provides me with that, but it also allows me to be a really genuine and authentic mentor and teacher in this industry. And I will tell you, there are so many people out there trying to take your money, promising you the world with 50 new clients tomorrow and 6 figures by next week. And they're just throwing stuff simply into AI and generating it because they're not walking the talk and they're not just doing the things from that need to be done to teach from an energy of I can't wait. So
From
that is
love,
why I'm in
right?
the treatment room. That's why I love being here with you. And I would say just that little shift can change everything for you and elevate your passion in your industry. I mean, and your energy, and welcome people into your treatment room. So let me flip my notes over here. Why did I decide to do this when you asked me to come on here and speak? I just feel like so many people are in a place where they need their energy elevated. They need mentorship. They don't need more information. They need to be inspired to take advantage of what they already have. And that is your magic wands that you use in your treatment room. That is all the trainings you invested in the last 5 or 10 years when Zoom trainings became so popular. And I want to give you 3 tips of things that are really working right now in the industry to welcome in amazing clients. And I want you to think of welcoming in amazing client. Actually, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that. So let's move on. And I'm going to share my last thought that I almost mentioned when I get to the marketing piece. All right. So I want to ask you, how do you welcome abundance in such a highly competitive industry? Dancing on social media, buying every new machine on the market. If I buy it, they're going to come. And we've all done this. Although I can honestly say I don't think I've ever danced on social media. It's just not my thing. Buy every machine on the market. If they buy it, the clients are just magically going to find me. Or positioning yourself as a trustworthy professional. So hold on one second. My screen is acting wonky. Okay. Before I answer that question, I think we all know the answer, but before I answer that question, I want to share with you the 4 types of competition. As I mentioned, we're in a highly competitive market space. And the reason that I am bringing up the 4 types of competition is because as we dive into marketing a little bit deeper in just a second, I want this is going to help you knowing who your competition is. It's going to help you with marketing, branding, and position, and it's going to simplify your business growth model, so to speak. All right, so there are 4 types of competition. Somebody who has a bigger name, somebody who's cheaper, somebody who has more authority in the space. Maybe your neighbor is always on the news or mentioned in the local Facebook groups or has 7,000 Google reviews, right? You always have people who are going to be less expensive than you. There's always going to be somebody that has a bigger name. I'm seeing this a lot right now. Your competition is on Instagram with influencers who have a bigger name, but they don't know a whole lot about skincare, right? So that's what I mean by bigger name. And then a pet, a favorite. So I've met people before, as I'm sure you have, and I'm marketing my business and I'm talking to them and I'm welcoming into my treatment room and they go, oh my gosh, no, I'm sorry, Lori. I have an esthetician who I absolutely love. I would say the pet, the favorite is the hardest client to actually, I don't even usually try that type of competition. I never want to take business away from somebody else. But a bigger name, a cheaper, more authority in a space, you can crush that type of competition if you do the 3 things that I'm going to share with you today. So let's move into that. All right. So of course, positioning yourself as a trustworthy professional is the answer to the question I asked a few minutes ago. And one of the reasons when I learned this, one of the reasons I invested in getting, excuse me, the professional photos taken. So if you don't have some, now it's so easy to do. Just put your phone, your iPhone on portrait mode and do your hair and makeup and take some pictures in your treatment room and get those on your website. That's tip number 1. Because going back to, I don't know why my computer's acting so crazy, but I'll just mention again, individual pictures and positioning yourself on as a pro are going to help you actually win over the client who's buying the products online because of somebody with a bigger name, a social influencer. People will pay more if they feel welcomed into a professionally set up business. So that's tip number 2. It doesn't matter if somebody's less expensive. If somebody's looking for good quality and the first impression is your website, get a photo of yourself on there and do the marketing that I'm going to share with you today. Simple, not complicated. Then you crush out the people that maybe even think they're searching for somebody cheaper. And then it positioning yourself as a trustworthy professional. It really does give you more authority in the space, and you will start to see that you get more referrals. You'll start to see that you get more Google reviews and that people really take you seriously as a trustworthy professional. And this is why I started mentoring. I never felt I was taken seriously as an esthetician and a professional career driven woman in an industry where more people had my phone number in their cell phone than their doctor or their CPA or their attorney. And I go, I'm going to work hard to change this, not just for myself, but the industry as a whole. That's one of the reasons I wrote the book. I started doing the coaching. All right, so let's talk a little bit about mastering marketing. Connection is the easiest, most authentic way to create cash flow. And all marketing is connection. I just took a webinar yesterday and they were saying the top of your business growth goal in 2024 should be client relationship building. And boy, do we have a superpower here. So I'm just going to share with you what I mean here with some specific examples, because I did tell you that I wasn't going to make this complicated or crazy. So I have some notes here. 3 ways to market your business. And I am a firm believer in reusing content. So what you do for a newsletter, you can roll into a blog, which helps improve SEO on your website. And that's very easy to do and use AI, artificial intelligence. So you can go in and you can put your thoughts on a piece of paper and you can say, turn this into a newsletter. I always recommend just editing it and adding your own vibe and voice to it. But then you can say, turn this into an Instagram post. And then you can simply say, turn this into a blog, an SEO rich blog for my website. And boom, that is some incredible marketing made easy. Now, what do you say? What do you do? How do you do the messaging in your marketing? I have 3 tips for you here. To market to your current clients, because there are 3 types of clients: current, past, and future. So to your current, what I like to do is I like to write down, maybe at the end of the week, everything I chatted about with my clients, treatment room chatter, the commonly asked questions that I get, and I weave it into my marketing. Not only, so I call it treatment room chatter. And this is it's the things I share with my VIP clients. So some of the things that I've sent out that have gotten the best response in marketing to my current clients are what I'm watching on Netflix. I taught my entire list how to make an estetini if they were going to have happy hour. I sent that one out on a Thursday night so they could go to the grocery store Friday. I did a mocktail and an alcohol-based estetini. People loved that recipe. I also talk about, like I said, I did one letter on, do I need a toner? Because I probably had 50 people asking me that a month, and 3 reasons, yes, you do need a toner. Got a ton of response. People are still coming in. This was 7, 8, 9 months ago, and they're saying, wait, remember that email you sent out about a toner? Which one do I need for my skin? So maybe it's your favorite magical moisturizer, maybe it's your toner, but those are 3 ways to stay engaged, connected to your current client. When you do this, they will increase the spend when they come into your business. You make them curious. They're going to ask you questions. The best way to sell something without feeling salesy is have your clients come to you and ask a question. So that's what this marketing newsletter does. Then turn it into a blog, SEO rich. So your website starts to go up there. Remember, you're working for more authority in a space and you don't have to work that hard to get it. Okay, so then for past clients, I call this the most genuine and authentic vibe you can put out there as an esthetician. So what I do, this is my system for connecting with past clients. Would you agree with me that a past client you haven't seen in a while has popped into your head? Pops into your head maybe on repeat for a few weeks, and you do nothing about it. This is the time when I want you, instead of energy of escape, to go to energy of I can't wait. I will literally text this client with nothing about what I do in the treatment room, but I'll say to them, hey, I miss you and you keep popping into my mind. How are you doing? And that's it. And I can't tell you how many people this has brought back into my world. Simple text message. If I have a client who's over 70, which I have a lot of them here in the desert, I'll literally call them. And I make sure I have 10 to 15 minutes. And I'll preface this, hey, you know what? I'm in between clients, but you popped into my head and I thought it was so important to reach out to you and tell you I missed you. How are you doing? And just sit there and listen. Even if that person doesn't come back to you, maybe they're suffering with an illness, maybe they've moved away, they're probably going to refer somebody to you, or best part ever, you've made their day, right? And that's a good energy to embody for yourself and for somebody else. Okay. And then your potentials, the clients who are looking for you, but they don't know you exist or they haven't booked yet. So the potentials are, hey, we need to meet. That's what your messaging and marketing vibe needs to feel like. This is also, again, where I'll take my most commonly asked questions and I'll turn them into a graphic in Canva and I'll place them on my business Google page as a photo. So they can see your commonly asked questions with your little branded logo on the bottom. I believe, and I teach this from stage, all last year I taught this from stage. And if you listen to my podcast yesterday with the esthetician in Maryland who started over right before COVID and then had to start over again when she was able to go back to work, I asked her, how did you get busy so fast? And she said, Google business. So treat your Google business page like you treated Facebook back in 2010. That's my business advice here. So here are some examples of commonly asked questions and turning them into captivating shares is, do you have puffy eyes? Have you ever wondered about toners? Is your moisturizer right for your skin type? And keep it so simple. So not only can you turn this into a Google post, but also you could do a quick Instagram reel on this. I did a reel this morning. I haven't posted it yet, but I did a reel of why I started Spa Star. So all I did is I flipped through my phone and found like 20 photos. And then I put them in a reel, added some music, turned the volume down, and did a voiceover. So you don't even have to be live on camera anymore to make a very impactful post that will reel in current, past, and potential clients. All right, so I think that's it for the marketing thing. So let's move on to, this was my word of the year, abundance. And I just want to give you the definition of abundance: plentifulness, the good things in life, and prosperity. And why do I think this is a power move for businesses and for you and energetically to raise your vibration so you feel more confident and excited and you start to embody that energy of I can't wait? When you create an abundant life, you feel in flow. And I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about from my past career life. So I was a flight attendant, and being in flow for me showing up at work was a day that the weather cooperated. So how many of you have traveled recently? It is chaotic out there. It is chaotic out there, but I'll fine tune the example of when you travel and there is weather. Oh my goodness. You are not in flow. Nobody's in flow. Everybody's in a bad mood. Nothing is going right. I was literally abused as a flight attendant by people getting on, acting like I was Mother Nature, taking things out on me. So when there's disruptions and when you're not feeling abundant, then you are not going to feel in flow. And that is a horrible way to live life. And here's what I want you to know about abundance is the fact that we truly live. I know the word privilege has been thrown around so much, but I do believe being an esthetician is a privilege that I have. And I want you to feel this way too. If you need $500 for something tomorrow, we live in a world where that's available to you. If you want a new client, there are hundreds out there waiting for you to let them know that you are open for business and you are excited for the opportunity to earn their business. So start to think about abundance and in a different way. And what I want you to think about is abundance and manifesting are the same to me when it comes to creating an important life. And I'm going to be teaching more about this. So abundance and manifesting. I've been told my whole life, you're so lucky, Lori, you're such a good manifester. I work hard at it. And I'm going to be sharing more of this actually for the first time ever. It's a free training I'm doing on February 18th. So write down Esthetician Energy. You can sign up now and save your space. Estheticianenergy.com. It's all about abundance, manifestation, and what you need to do to welcome the feeling of flow into your life. Never taught it before. Didn't know if I was qualified. And then I'm like, hey, wait, you always, say that you teach what you experience and what you've created. Why haven't you shared this part of yourself before? So that's something I'm really excited about. But for now, today, we are limited. So what I want to do is I want to give you 3 steps on abundance and manifestation and how to welcome both into your life. And I will give you a warning here. I will give you a warning here when I talk about abundance. I find that so many people have to have I guess it's a mindset makeover when it comes to abundance and money and manifestation. It triggers them, it makes them feel annoyed. And you're either going to love working with me or I'm going to annoy you, because I do love teaching about money. I love teaching how to welcome it. I love teaching how to spend it. I love spend it properly, because you can't go out there and buy everything and think it's going to fix your life. I am proud that I have built a life that I have from being an esthetician and living in an abundant space and creating more of it and working really hard to do so. Was not born with a golden spoon in my mouth. I've worked hard for everything I have. And I'm excited just to even share with you today the meaning of abundance. So you can start to operate from this place. Because again, it feels so good to be in flow than when you're stuck in travel delays because of bad weather, right? So the 3 abundance creators that I'm going to share with you today, again, we have limited time, are number 1, vision. And what do I mean by that? And what does it have anything to do with abundance? You literally have to know what you want with clarity and confidence to welcome it into your life. And so many people, that's one of the first questions I ask when I mentor somebody. What is it you want? What is it you want to feel? What is it you want to be? What is it you want to do? And what is it you want to have? And they go, I don't know. You have to know to welcome it in. How are you going to welcome something in? It's like getting in your car and going, well, I'm going to go somewhere. I don't know where. You're just going to drive around aimlessly versus like, okay, I'm going to the grocery store. I'm leaving my house at 10 o'clock and here's what I need to have. Doesn't that make your day flow much smoother? Okay, so tip number 1, the abundance, you have to have a very, very clear idea of what you want. So write it down. Who do I want to be in this industry? What do I want to do in this industry? And that can be as simple as what I want to do in my treatment room. What do I want to specialize in? And the third thing is, what do I want to have? What do I want to welcome in? And don't be afraid of certain dollar amounts or certain things that are going to make you feel rich and abundant. All right. So number 1 is vision. The second thing is you have to be an energy match to your vision. Does that make sense? I'm going to give you an example of what I mean. Whatever it is you want, you have to start making decisions from the person and the place and the being that already has those things. So here's where I see a few mistakes. I'm just going to give you an example of treatment room talk because I feel like these resonate the most with my fellow estheticians. Number 1 is, if you want to specialize in acne, why are you giving any effort to anti-aging facials? And I find this is I told you I'm going to teach you how to spend money with practicality. I'm going to teach you how to spend money with like properly. So I see so many people, because they don't know what they want, they're spending money all over the place, and it turns into an expense, a big expense, an overload of inventory, and then you feel overwhelmed and you don't do anything. So hyper focus on what it is that you want to do. It even helps in your marketing because you know who to talk to, you know who to call in, and stop wasting your time, energy, and money on the things that aren't in line with your vision. That will make you feel abundant right away, I promise you. And the last thing is that I want to share with you. Once you know your vision, and once you become an energetic match, which meaning your action that you take in showing up in line with your vision, the energy you're putting out, then I want you to start to think about, the last thing is, start to think about who you can invite into your world that will show you how to do things. So often we're searching for how to do it, how to do it, how to do it, how to do it. And this is our information overload. How many of you guys have invested in a training course that you've done nothing with? Information overload. Sometimes to become an energetic match for our vision and to call it in, it's who we surround ourselves with, And that piece of it, the who, investing in the who, will actually speed up how you're going to call in abundance into your life. So that's my little roadmap for abundance that I'd like to share with you today. Again, it's a whole course I'm going to be teaching, energetic or esthetician energy, sorry, estheticianenergy.com. If you want to sign up, it's a free class happening on February 18th. Okay, now moving into the 3 power moves to attract your dream clients and why this is important. Knowing who you want to work on will simplify everything for you. Your marketing is easier. Your calling in abundance is easier. Your inventory is streamlined. Can you guys let me know? A lot of you have your cameras off, but let me know if your inventory is out of control. You probably have a lot of things sitting around that you don't need, or you don't have enough of the things you do need, right? Inventory is a weird thing, but a power move is knowing who you want to work on because it simplifies everything. And once you do this, your inventory is going to be streamlined, and your retail, you will boost your retail sales. You're going to out competition the person with the bigger name, the person that's less expensive, and the person with more authority in the space, because people are going to want to buy from you because it's streamlined and easy to make a decision when they invest in your business offerings. So what do I mean here? This is a little exercise that I have done for years. I'd say every 3, 4, 5 years, I like to reinvent myself, and I have to do this exercise. So I want you to think about, and I want you to feel passionate about your work and your offerings, because passion, as I mentioned earlier, is the biggest client attraction magnet. So this is what I call a BCE exercise. And BCE means your best client ever. And once you know this is part of your vision work, then you're going to be able to market yourself like a rock star with confidence and clarity. So number 1, who is your favorite client? I want you to write their name down on a piece of paper. Who's your favorite client? We all have one. I call this your BCE, your best client ever. And they literally are your North Star for marketing. Who is your BCE? Write their name down. And then I want you to write 5 reasons why they are your BCE, your best client ever. And my guess is it's because they respect your business. They show up on time. They don't cancel last minute. They purchase products from you. They refer their friends, families, and coworkers. So why is this person your favorite person in your business? Now we'll move into, and again, I'm sorry, we have limited time today, but we'll move into the assessment phase of your BCE, because going back to my flight attendant days, during our emergency trainings, and this was heavy duty, intense stuff, we would have to get on an airplane simulator, and it would rock, and you'd see fire outside the windows, like these fake flames coming up. But the very first thing we had to do before we took any action to evacuate an airplane and to make sure we were safe and our passengers were safe was assess the situation. Again, assessment needs to be a priority, and you figuring out what you want to do, be, and have in your life. So assessing who your favorite client is going to help you with clarity. So assessment, what services do they pick? What products do they buy? And then going back, circling back to what I mentioned earlier, what questions do they ask you? You should be making notes of these questions. As a matter of fact, back in the good old days when I owned my LA spa, which was such a glorious time in my life as an esthetician, it was amazing. That little spa was very special. For 1 year, I think, I asked every client who I adored working with, who I had the opportunity to serve as an esthetician, why do you come to me? I said, and just be honest with me. I don't care if it's because you like my parking, but be honest with me. And the answers that I got were so valuable in helping me when I sold the spa and I set up again in a new location. It's data. And we have this beautiful, easy, free way of collecting it. Big companies pay a lot of money to collect data so they can market properly to call in the right clients. And we have it gifted right in front of us most of the time. Okay, so then number 4. So step number 1, who's your favorite client? The name. Step number 2 is why are they your favorite client? Step number 3 is the assessment phase. What services, what products, what questions do they ask you? And number 4 is start to create a marketing and a branding that has your new business model in plain. So in plain sight. So start to create marketing and branding elements so they speak to this type of client. Again, it kind of goes back to everything. This is the biggest power move you can make. This is going to be the things that you post on your Google business page. This is going to be the reuse of your content. And you guys, You don't need to be a marketing guru anymore. I'm going to let you in on a secret that business thing. So I was in a sauna when I was onboarding at this big fancy hotel. I was onboarding the spa star wraps, and I got to use a spa for free for the day. So I went into the sauna and I was sitting there, and this girl walked in and we just started talking. I said, "What do you do?" She said, "I'm a marketing person." And she said, we got deep into conversation, and she said, it's funny because everyone keeps asking me, is AI going to crush my business? And I said, heck no. She said, I made $75,000 using AI the other day. Somebody, a big company, reached out and said, I need a blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be careful. I don't want to give any proprietary information, sauna talk information away. She said, so all I did is I found 5 or 6 different things online that were in line with what this client wanted. I threw it into AI and I made $75,000. So you do not need to be a marketing guru to do all of the things that I'm telling you. What you need to do is figure out who it is you want to attract into your business, reuse the content, take action, and be brave enough to step into this, and you will welcome abundance. So, I'm going to now give you an example. So that was the BCE, best client ever exercise. And I'm going to give you an example because sometimes if we hear how somebody else creates something, it's much easier. Remember, it goes back to what I mentioned. It's the who, not the how. So here I am being your who. I'm going to show you how I use this exercise in my life to speed up the process for you. Okay, so my favorite client, let's just say her name is Beth. And why is Beth my favorite client? Beth shows up on time. She buys all her retail from me. As a matter of fact, Beth tomorrow, true life thing happening here, has been texting me for a week. I was sick. She still didn't go online and buy the products online. She's coming in tomorrow to pick up her products from me that she's needed for over a week. Beth is a BCE. She buys her retail from me. She refers her friends and family, and she never, ever cancels on me, ever. And you know what? The one time Beth does cancel and I say, you get a free pass, Beth does it again. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. You will be charged the $50 late cancellation fee. So having boundaries in place, even with your VCEs and your VIPs, is a priority, but that's a whole other class. So Beth books the service I love to provide, AKA my profitable passion. The thing that you would do all day long for free needs to be at the top of your menu, and you need to charge the most for it. beautybizclub.com for more information. We work with everybody, helping them map out these elements of their business. Okay, so the questions that Beth asks me: my skin is so dry. What do I do? What do I use? Please help me. She asked me, what can I add on to my facial to help with the fuzzy hair on my face? Can I get a gift card for my BFF? What should I do about the amount of sunspots that are suddenly showing up on my face? So can you see how I could I'd say reverse engineer these questions and turn them into little marketing nuggets in my business, post them on my blog with all kinds of key words that are SEO rich, and put them on my Google business page and put them on my Instagram and do a live or a voiceover reel. You guys, these are power moves to welcome in your dream clients. Once you do the little things that I suggested today and your BCE assessment, and you just go back to what I mentioned being the energetic match for what you want to create and taking action with this new clarity and confidence and direction, I promise you that you will have amazing new clients on your book in no time at all. So that is my presentation for today. What I would like to do before I close down the share is, take a screenshot of this. I didn't even realize I had it on here. So this is the exercise. If I spoke quickly, which I have a habit of doing, and you want to do this, or maybe you're a small business owner and you'd like to walk your team through this exercise, take a screenshot so you can use this in your business. And honestly, if you have a team, they all should have, they're different individuals. And if you want them to market and call people into the business as a team, you have to let them practice what feels the most beautiful to them. So this is a great exercise, not only for you, but for the team. Okay, and here's how you can find me. Follow me, beautybizclub.com, Esthetician Energy is the free class that I'm going to be teaching. And then SpaStar.net, for those of you who don't and are not ready to open up a wholesale account, but you want to try one of the wraps or the headbands, we created a 25% off coupon for you today, and that's U Beauty.
We do have questions.
Okay, well, let me close my share because I lost my cursor, which happens to me a lot. Let me see if I can.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the question, but also I forgot to start at the beginning of this. Our motto for 2024 within the group is don't suffer in silence. So I want to tell you, ladies, turn on your mics, turn on your videos. I want you guys to get the most how to be like success and just juice the group. Let's juice it. So that's why I tell everybody don't suffer in silence, because my goal is to make it a safe space to where you can just ask questions. Ask. That's how we're going to get successful. Somebody said, can you please explain how you use those on your Google business, which I also wrote down, and I thought that was genius.
How I use, okay, so it's a system, and I'm a Virgo. If any of you believe in birthday signs, I'm a true Virgo. We're very organized and systematic. Here's what I do. I follow up with my clients because, again, it really truly goes back to the I can't wait energy. 2 days later, I can't wait to hear how their skin feels. So I will text them and say, how is your post facial skin looking and feeling? And their response back, I turn into a testimonial. Oh my gosh, Lori, my skin has never looked and felt so gorgeous. So I take that, I put it in Canva with my little logo at the bottom, and I put quotes like elements. You can find fun little graphic like quotes at the top. Oh my gosh, Lori, my skin has never looked or felt so beautiful post facial. And then I just do their name and the city they're in below. I don't do their last name, but I will take that. I put it on my Instagram page as a branded graphic, and then I share it as well on my Google business page as a photo. You can post on Google business pages as just like you can on Facebook. Super easy to do. And so I also recommend taking your Instagram page, if you're really consistent and really professional with your Instagram page, taking it, and you can most of the time now add it to the bottom of your website. So it's fresh content that algorithms will pick up if you're constantly adding fresh content. Did that help? Is that what you guys were asking?
Yes, that helped. Thank you.
Of course, you're welcome.
I love that idea. I was like, how come I didn't think of that?
Well, again, that goes back to sometimes it's not the how, it's the who. When you just start to learn from people, maybe who are 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of you, have a little more experience in the industry, you can not only save yourself lots of money, lots of time, but you can quickly speed up your success. That's why mentorship is so important. That's why I founded the Beauty Biz Club. There was nobody helping with stuff like this when I entered the industry. And the people who were really successful, they guarded their trade secrets. Like, God forbid you ask them a question. And I still kind of see some of that on social media. So I'm glad. I liked your little theme for the year. Don't suffer in silence. And for me, there's never a stupid question. I spend the first 20 minutes every morning with my coffee answering questions in the Beauty Biz Club. It's like mini coaching sessions for me. And I am a firm believer, give, get. The more you give, the more you're going to get back into your life.
I love when you started out, which some people did join in a little bit late. I love the fact, I feel like your motto, my don't suffer in silence in the group in 2024. When we first started this live, you said something really empowering that was like, everybody's slow. Literally everybody is slow right now. And 2, we just came back from COVID. And that impacted us pretty heavily. I don't know. So it does make sense that we're a little bit slower, we're a little bit fatigued, we're tired, the opening, the closing. So it makes sense. That was traumatic. Like, what?
So some of you may not know that I was a flight attendant on September 11th, and that changed my whole life because it hit very close to home. I flew from LA to Boston on September 10th, and the next morning, September 11th, half my crew went into the World Trade Center. So
Oh my God.
And very, very, very traumatic. And I honestly thought that would be the worst thing I ever had to deal with, especially career-wise in my life. But I would say that COVID was right there with it, like the mind craziness that happened during that. And it took me I still get choked up over September 11th, and I still get frustrated over what I had to deal with during COVID. So it's almost like a hangover emotionally. And the best way to heal from it is to start taking action and claim your abundance and what you deserve in this world. And I will tell you that coming out of COVID, I had been an esthetician for 20 years and never, ever, ever in my whole life did I see what expect or even know how to navigate. I called it a period of beauty with a vengeance. Everybody wanted a facial. Everybody, whether I had met you or not, I had people sitting outside of my salon suite going, "You didn't call me back. I need a facial." I go, "Okay, hi, I'm Lori. I've never met you before. How long ago did you call me?" They're like, 2 hours ago. So it was wild, but this is the truth of our industry. It ebbs and flows. And that period is over. And now inflation, I know people keep saying it's going down. And I have a very, very, very wealthy male client. And I was talking to him the other day when he was in for his hydrofacial. And I go, "Do I live in a bubble?" Because I live in an area where people are still spending a lot of money. He goes, "Kid, you live in a bubble." He said, "Right now, 40% of things are 40% more expensive than they were. So people are just making different buying decisions." But also, I was an esthetician in 2008 when the economy crashed. I was newly divorced and I was pretty much like living paycheck to paycheck and terrified. And what I found is I had to become an energetic match for what I wanted. And I decided I'm still going to show up. And I know my clients will too. And my spa every single month had increased revenue numbers every single month because I decided to show up and I knew it was time to swim. I wasn't going to sink. So it's the energy you put out no matter what's happening in the world. And I guarantee you, I would love a follow-up to if somebody just feels more energized and does something that I mentioned to do this week. Let me know how you feel in your business and if things start to shift a little bit, because it's the unwritten type of business advice that most people aren't talking about right now, but it makes a huge impact on the bottom line.
Agree, 100% agreed. And I love the fact, one, that we're all here today because I feel like when you know other people are going through it, it's easier to get out of it. And because you tend to take it personal. Like, my business isn't thriving, it's me. I'm not good. I don't know what I'm doing. And then you kind of second guess it. But when you hear other people being like, "No, we're in a recession, things are inflation and there's COVID and we can get through this." But like, okay, I feel better. That kind of gets you out of it, and then it makes your energy go up, and then it's like, and then comes the work, right? So like, what are you going to do to uplift? How are you going to get your BCE? You know what I mean? Like, so then you start doing the homework, and it's like, now let me go to Google and every single one review can get you one more client. You know what I mean? So if you just focus on the one,
That can get you one more referral, that can get you 5 products sold. It's a domino effect, but it's never going to happen if you don't take action. And I will tell you that last week, and this, I'm sharing this because it happened inside the Beauty Biz Club, and I didn't know how helpful it would be to so many people, but I had a coaching call with a very, very, very successful esthetician. And she said, "Lori, I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything the club says. I'm sending out," because we inside the club, we give you everything you need. We do your social media for you. You basically have to plug it into your own portal. We do marketing letters. We have monthly promotions that you get to use that aren't designed to discount. They're designed to excite your clients to come in. She's like, "I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything. And my books are slow. I'm going to have to lay people off, blah, blah, blah." And I just sat and I listened because people need to get this off their chest. And I said, "Okay, you're doing everything. Now tell me what you're doing to get new clients in." And she just sat there and she goes, "Holy crap, I'm doing nothing to get new clients in. I just keep relying on my old clients. There's always something you could be doing." And then it was weird because even though like 2 days later, she texted me and she said, "That was so helpful. Thank you. And now I feel so much better." And I shared that in a little clip. I go live in the Beauty Biz Club with success tips every week. I try to do that. And so many people said, "Oh my gosh, my past clients are cricketing me right now. Like nothing it's silence so I'm going to start getting new clients. So it's these little tiny things and shift in our energy that will bring us the flow of abundance that I talked about today.
I would love to hear, we have like 5 more minutes. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to turn on your mics if you have more questions. Dun, dun, dun. Or something that resonated with you.
And I'm free however long, I mean, I'm free. I'm meeting with in a little bit. So I have time if you want to stay longer. I'm here for you guys.
I just have one more live at 12.
Oh,
I would love to hear what resonated with you guys.
sounds like somebody's cooking lunch. I'm hungry.
Cleaning.
Hello, my name's Miranda.
Hi, Miranda.
Hello. I really loved the kind of the inspired action that you talked about when you were mentioning, who do you want to be? What do you want to offer? And then operating from that energy as if you're already there. That really hit home for me.
I thank you for sharing that. And when it hit home, like I would love to hear if you know at this point, what is one action step you're going to take in that direction?
Haven't figured that out yet at this moment. But I have it starred that I need to start, thinking about. Let me just back up for a second and let you know that I am very new to the industry. So I've got to get clear on those things so that I can start moving towards my vision. I feel like I have an idea, but I haven't gotten 100% clear on that.
So I think when you first start out, we're in an industry where there's so much available to us. You do have to dabble this and that and see what feels passionate, what sparks your passion, what sparks your beautiful soul is what I always say. And just at the point you're at, if you're new at doing this and you really haven't ever even thought about vision work or BCE or profitable passion, just start to pay attention to what lights you up. And that's a perfect first action step.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course, you're welcome. Oh, Maria, are you saying something? I think you're muted. Or
No, I'm right here.
okay. Any other questions before we have to go so Maria can move on to her next live?
It's not till 12, so we have time.
Okay.
So somebody asked, is there a recording? There absolutely is a recording. It's already live streamed and pinned to the top of the group right now. It would also go out newsletter and on our YouTube. So everything lives on the YouTube.
Well, thanks so much for having me here today.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I cannot wait for the next one. Hopefully it's soon. I already put, if you guys look into the chat, I put Lori's stuff in the chat. I'm excited for the Esthetician Energy Workshop. That's gonna be fun. And yeah, I'm excited to take the conversation back in the group. And if you guys, maybe you guys who ever had this like inspirational moment, if you guys want to post it in the group and talk about what inspired you, because we're raising the energy in the group. That's what we said, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I'll check in to your pinned post and answer any questions for those people who listened on replay too. This is where I get my beauty biz soul lit up, is helping other estheticians find their way to abundance and success.
Thank you so much, everybody, and I look forward to continuing the conversation.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Maria. I appreciate you.
Bye.